Hello and welcome to another episode of Spiritual Podcast, your podcast for authentic Bible teachings that we share for 100% free to all. It is Saturday. Happy Sabbath, everyone. I'm Elder Joe, and it's a blessing to be with you today.
And I'm Sister Jane. Elder Joe, today we're tackling a topic that, honestly, I think so many people, especially those of us over 40, feel but don't always articulate. This sense of social fragmentation, this feeling of being a bit disconnected.
You're absolutely right, Sister Jane. It's almost an invisible challenge. We live in a world that's more connected technologically than ever, yet many are experiencing profound loneliness, particularly as we mature into our 40s and beyond. Lives shift, priorities change, and sometimes our social circles just shrink.
It's so true. I've heard friends talk about it, especially women. Kids grow up and leave home, careers might be slowing down or pivoting, and suddenly the built-in communities around school events or playdates just vanish. You look around and think, wait, where did everyone go?
And for men, it can manifest differently, but the core feeling is similar. The camaraderie from work or sports might not translate into deeper, more vulnerable friendships. Society often tells men to be strong and independent, which can, paradoxically, isolate them when they need support the most.
Exactly. There's a verse that comes to mind, from Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up, but pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. That really speaks to the inherent human need for connection, doesn't it?
It does, Sister Jane. It reminds us that Almighty Yahweh designed us for relationship, not just with Him, but with one another. This fragmentation goes against our very design. We are members of a body, as the Apostle Paul describes in 1 Corinthians 12, each part needing the other.
But what happens, Elder Joe, when life just naturally pulls us apart? People move, friends get busy with their own families, interests diverge. It's not always malicious, just life.
That's a critical point, Sister Jane. It's not always a deliberate abandonment. The world is constantly changing. Technology, while offering connection, also often provides a superficial one. We see curated highlight reels on social media, which can make our own experiences of disconnection feel even more acute. We might feel like everyone else is thriving in a bustling community while we're on the sidelines.
Oh, that's such a good point about social media. It's like looking through a window at a party you're not invited to. It doesn't help. I think a lot of us also lose touch with the art of making new friends. When you're younger, it just kind of happens naturally, in school or college. Later in life, it feels like you have to be so intentional.
Intentionality is key, Sister Jane. The Bible encourages us to be active in building community. Hebrews 10:24-25 says, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching." This isn't just about showing up to church on the Sabbath on Saturday. It's about actively engaging, nurturing those relationships.
Spurring one another on toward love and good deeds. I love that. It's not just about getting support, but also about giving it. When you're feeling fragmented, it's easy to retreat, to think, no one cares, so why bother? But maybe the answer is to be the one who reaches out, who bothers.
Precisely. Sometimes the best way to receive is to give. When we serve others, when we invest in their lives, we often find our own needs met in unexpected ways. It shifts our focus from "what am I missing" to "how can I contribute?"
That's a huge shift in perspective, and it requires courage, doesn't it? To put yourself out there again, especially after years of being comfortable in a certain routine. What about the fear of rejection, or the feeling that you're too old to start forming new, deep connections?
The fear of rejection, a classic human struggle. But consider the words of Proverbs 27:17. "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." True friendship isn't always comfortable. It involves vulnerability and sometimes, yes, a risk of hurt. But the benefit of being sharpened, of growing through interaction, far outweighs the potential discomfort.
Iron sharpening iron. That implies a bit of friction, a bit of effort. It's not always smooth sailing, and that's a good reminder that deep connections aren't always effortless, especially not as we get older and have more life experiences that shape us differently.
Indeed. And for those feeling a deep sense of loneliness, even within a crowd, it's important to remember that Yahweh sees them. Psalm 34:18 tells us, Yahweh is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. He understands our longing for connection and our pain when it feels absent.
That's a beautiful verse, Elder Joe. It provides such comfort. It's almost like the first step to overcoming fragmentation isn't necessarily finding new people, but finding solace and connection in our faith first, right? Because then we operate from a place of wholeness, not desperation.
Absolutely, Sister Jane. Our primary connection is with our Father in heaven, Yahweh. When we are rooted in Him, we gain the strength, wisdom, and peace to navigate our earthly relationships. Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares Yahweh, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." This includes our social future, too.
Hope and a future. I love that. So practically speaking, for someone over 40 who's listening and feeling this fragmentation, where do they even start? Do they just join a new club? What's the actionable step?
A great question. I would say start small and start where you are. Firstly, reconnect with your faith community if you've drifted. Look for small groups, Bible studies, or volunteer opportunities within your church. These are built-in communities designed for deeper connection.
That makes sense. It's like stepping into a ready-made support system where people often share similar values. And it's not just about attending, but about actively participating, right? Offering to help, staying for coffee, initiating conversations.
Exactly. And beyond the church, think about your existing network. Is there someone you haven't spoken to in a while? Send a text, make a call. Sometimes, rebuilding starts with repairing or rekindling what's already there. We often assume people are too busy for us, but they might be feeling the same way.
That's a good point. A simple thinking of you message can open a door you didn't even realize was closed. What about new connections, hobbies, classes, community service? I know it sounds a bit cliched, but sometimes you just have to get out there.
It sounds cliché because it works. The Apostle Paul tells us in Philippians 2:4, "Let each of you look not only to his own interests, but also to the interests of others." Engaging in activities where you can serve or learn alongside others naturally creates bonds. Whether it's a book club, a gardening group, or volunteering at a local charity, shared purpose is a powerful connector.
Shared purpose. I've definitely found that to be true. When you're working towards a common goal, the guard comes down, and you see people for who they really are. It makes it easier to form genuine connections than just, say, meeting at a bar.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the power of hospitality, as commanded in Romans 12:13. Share with Yahweh's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. Open your home, even if it's just for a cup of tea. Break bread with someone. These simple acts can go a long way in building bridges.
Oh, that's so true, Elder Joe. There's something inherently human and comforting about sharing a meal or just sitting together in someone's home. It fosters intimacy in a way that meeting in a public place often doesn't. It's an invitation to a deeper level of connection.
And it doesn't have to be perfect, Sister Jane. Don't let the fear of having a spotless home or being a gourmet chef deter you. It's the spirit of welcome that matters, not the presentation.
That's a good word for so many of us, myself included, who get caught up in the perfection trap. It's about presence, not performance. And on that note, what about mentorship, Elder Joe? Both being a mentor and finding one. Does that play a role in combating fragmentation?
A huge role, Sister Jane. The older generation has a wealth of wisdom to share, and the younger generation often craves guidance. Titus 2 encourages older men and women to teach the younger. It's a beautiful cycle of giving and receiving. As a mentor, you find purpose and connection in pouring into someone else's life. As a mentee, you gain invaluable insight and a supportive relationship.
It creates those intergenerational bonds that are so often missing in our fragmented society. It's like bridging not just social divides, but age divides too. And for those of us over 40, we're at that perfect age where we can be both mentors and still benefit from finding mentors ourselves, perhaps in areas where we're new or seeking growth.
Precisely. Life is a continuous journey of learning and growing, and as we grow older, we are called to be examples. In Psalm 92:14 it says, "They will still bear fruit in old age, they will stay fresh and green." Our later years are not a time for withdrawal, but for continued fruitfulness and vibrancy.
Fresh and green. I love that imagery. It's a message of hope that our best years of connection and impact might still be ahead. So often, aging is associated with decline, but it can be a season of profound influence and deepened relationships if we approach it with intentionality and faith.
Indeed. And let's not forget the power of simply being present and truly listening when we are with others. In a world of distractions, truly hearing someone is a profound act of love and connection. James 1:19 advises us to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry.
Quick to listen. That's a challenge in today's fast-paced world, isn't it? Everyone wants to share their piece, but fewer want to just sit and absorb. It's a foundational element of any strong relationship, I think.
It truly is. So, to our listeners, if you're feeling that sense of fragmentation, please know you're not alone. It's a common experience, but it's not one you have to endure in silence. Yahweh Almighty calls us to community, and there are tangible steps you can take to bridge that divide.
Start with prayer, ask Yahweh to show you where to connect, then take that brave first step. Reach out to an old friend, say yes to an invitation, offer to volunteer, or simply open your heart and home. The world needs your unique presence and wisdom.
Amen, Sister Jane. Remember the promise in Matthew 18:20, "For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I with them." Even 2 or 3 genuine connections can be a powerful antidote to isolation. May you find the courage and grace to foster those connections.
What a hopeful message to end on. Thank you, Elder Joe, for this really important conversation. And thank you all for joining us on Spiritual Podcast.
It was a true blessing, Sister Jane. Friends, if you'd like to continue this conversation or share your thoughts on this topic, leave a comment below or reach out to me directly. You are also welcome to visit our main website at spiritualpodcast.org and our sister website at yeshuathemessiahministry.org to read and learn more genuine truths from the Bible. Until next time, brothers and sisters, may Yahweh, the Elohim in heaven and creator of the universe, bless you and keep you, and may you find joy in the fellowship of others. I pray this in Yeshua's precious name, Amen. Let us keep praying for the shalom of Israel. Hallelujah.